Hello and welcome to another tutorial from CamiPaige Boutique. I'm Brooke Tannehill and today we are making a really cute, easy glitter paint drip mug. This cup is a lot of fun to make and can be completed in a day or two if you need some cups in a tight turnaround. As always, all the products I use will be listed in the description below, and you may even find a coupon code or two that saves you some coin. Also, come join our exclusive Facebook group where you can take advantage of upcoming freebies and giveaways that you aren't going to want to miss. So without further hesitation, let's go ahead and get started. For this tutorial, I started with a fully prepped and sanded 14-ounce coffee mug from Parrish Tumblers. I liked these mugs because they have such a cute shape and they were perfect for the paint drip that I wanted to do. Then what I did is I got a paper plate and just put some Mod Podge out so that I could easily dip a paintbrush in there and paint it onto the mug. I then grabbed a series of my favorite metallic glitters, and the reason why I chose metallic glitters is because they really stand out nicely on just a spray painted base, and you don't usually have to paint behind them to get their colors to show up. For this cup, I chose all metallic glitters because the thing that's so nice about these is that you don't have to use paint to have their true color and brilliance show up on a dark base. So the colors I chose, and sorry I went through them so quickly before, but I used Ocean Sapphire, which is that beautiful blue, Pennies from Heaven, which is a really nice copper color, Sea Green, which is the light green color, Persian Pearl, which is a light pink, Blue Steel, which is that gunmetal color that I showed, Lilac Dreams, which is a purple, and Bougie Bordeaux, which is a really deep wine, almost pink red color. So they're really, really beautiful. Once I had my glitter colors chosen, all I did was I grabbed probably about a 3/4 of an inch wide paintbrush, and it was a rounded tip paintbrush, but you can seriously use whatever you have on hand. And I just took the paintbrush, dipped it in the Mod Podge, and painted it on into the design I wanted for the mug. At first, I started with more of a rounded edge or end to the paint color, or the paint quote unquote drips, but I found that it just kind of looked weird. It almost looks like some weird lady fingers or whatever. So actually what I end up doing is going through and painting more of like a drip or more of an edge to the glitter colors, and I think it came out so much better. So literally all you do around this cup, and this is what makes it so easy, is that you paint on the shape of the drip that you want and glitter a single color. So a lot of people can do epoxy drips or the fabric paint drips, but I haven't found a good technique that allows you to get individualized colors or glitter colors like this one does. So I found that this was the easiest method to get the look that I wanted by applying each of the glitters separately with Mod Podge to the mug. Also, one thing I wanted to call out is the reason why I use Mod Podge over other adhesives is because Mod Podge has a really fast drying time. If you use a different adhesive that takes a little bit longer to dry, you do run the risk of having some of these glitters stick to it and you would get contamination within the different colors. But literally, because I'm doing just, I wouldn't say thin coats, but just like some medium coats, if that's a unit of measurement, and applying the glitter each time right after I apply it, I didn't run the risk, or I didn't have any of that cross contamination. So Mod Podge dries so fast that it was really great to work with for this kind of process. One other thing that I think is important with this is that I also had an inch just flat brush that I had set aside, and in between glitter colors I really took my time and was careful not to touch the wet Mod Podge that we had just put on, but also just use that dry inch brush to brush off any excess glitter that was on the cup, so that way you don't run the risk of having any stray glitters just popping up randomly or any of that cross contamination that I mentioned before. So literally all you want to do is just continue to go around the mug, painting your little design, whatever design you wanted to. And honestly, you don't have to just do paint drips. You could paint stars, you could paint hearts. So if you wanted to like maybe cut out like a little template from with your Cricut or your silhouette and just paste little shapes on it, Mod Podge and pull them up, this technique would work great for that. Also, I'm not the most organized crafter, so I don't know if you guys can see my medicine cup holder, which is that green contraption to my side, but I loved this thing because it allowed me to keep my glitters in order, so I easily knew what color came next, because sometimes you just get so into your project that you completely forget. But this thing was a lifesaver and made the process so much easier. If you guys would like to pick one up, definitely check the description below because I'll link it, because this thing has just been truly amazing. For some reason or another, I deleted the clip of the handle, but what I did with the handle is I just kind of randomly painted the top and then down the sides of it to where it looked like the paint just kind of poured down the handle and just came in with that bougie Bordeaux to cover what looked like paint drips down the handle. It was super cute, and I think it was just a really nice touch that you could easily replicate to make this cup just that much cuter. One thing I wanted to call out is don't be afraid to make edits to the original shapes that you put on the cup. I did here, and I feel like I had such a better finished product because I did so. And metallic glitters are extremely forgiving and really allow you to get the best finished product possible. I let the glitter dry for probably about 2 to 4 hours, and I sealed it twice with Rust-Oleum clear gloss spray paint, and then it was time for epoxy. Now, when I epoxy any handled cup, whether it be a mug or just any kind of tumbler, I like to start with the handle first. And what I do is I get a nice thin but not too thin layer of epoxy both on the handle, and then also make sure to spend some extra time where the handle meets the base of the mug or the tumbler so that you don't get pooling, because what happens is when it dries, you're going to get some chunky parts that always have bubbles regardless of what you do, and it really takes away from the true shape of the mug. For this mug and the first coat of epoxy, I used about 15 milliliters of a little extra ink epoxy, and I just cannot say enough about this stuff. Typically, when you add any kind of epoxy over a spray painted base, you have a ton of micro bubbles, and that just was not the case with this stuff. It dried super clear, and this only took 2 final coats of epoxy to get it completely smooth. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it, because look how this cup came out. It's so cute and just so vibrant and full of color, and it was so easy to make. As always, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. If you like this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see future videos. You can also ring the bell so you are notified of all future cup making goodies. Thank you again. I love you guys. Bye.